Hi, and welcome to my video on the review of similar triangles. As in all reviews, this is a review of all the videos that we did on similar triangles, the previous 9, and the questions are made out in the order of the videos. And notice that I have one of 6 pages, so there's 5 more pages with the questions on it. So if you have 5 blank pages and you can work them out, you could do the questions before I do them and see if you got them right. And then you total up the number of correct answers on each page. And the total is at a 33. Put your total here. Divide the numerator by the denominator, get a decimal. Move your decimal 2 places to the right to get your percent and see how much you have right, what percentage you have. So review of similar triangles, the 9 videos, if you reviewed. So if you didn't review my videos, then what you can do is see how well you do on this review. And if you don't, go back and look at all my videos and make sure, because you need to know about similarity to do your idea was on trig that's coming up, right triangular trig. You need to do it when you do calculus, and you need to know other topics. So here I go. For each, you can see the page, pause your video, and work out these answers and see what score you're going to get on this page. Do one question at a time, one page at a time. Number 1, triangle PQR is similar to triangle FEV. Find X in each. Angle Q is equal to angle, and what's X? Angle Q is equal to angle E. So that's an E. So X is represented by E. And PQ over FE is equal to PR over FV. So that's an FV. 1 mark for each. Give yourself 2 marks. Number 2, triangle ABC is similar to triangle XYW. Angle A is 70. Angle W is 50. What is the measure of angle B? So we have 2 triangles. And let me draw them as being similar. So there's A, B, C, X, Y, W. So angle A goes with angle X, B goes with angle Y, C goes with W. If angle A is 70, that means that angle X is 70. If angle W is 50, that means that angle C is 50, because corresponding angles are equal. That means that 70 and 50 is 120, so that means B is 60. So 60 degrees, Y is 60. Because the angles of 180, the angles of a triangle, interior angles always adds up to 180. 70, 50, and 60 is 180. Give yourself a mark. Number 3, solve for X. We have a proportion, so we can cross multiply. 2 times 4x minus 6 equals 3 times 2x plus 4. And that gives us 8x plus 12 equals 8x minus 12 is 6x plus 12. So 8x minus 6x equals 12 plus 12. 6x moves over to become negative, and the negative 12 moves to the right, become positive. So 2x is 24, divided by 2, and x becomes 12. And you can put it back in to see if you're right. Give yourself a mark if you got 12. Number 4, triangle ABC is similar to PQR. AB is 6, AC is 8, PR is 12, find PQ. So what I do is that I draw the 2 triangles, and here you go. I take the triangle A, B, C. It's going to go with P, Q, R. Drawing the triangles means I don't have to write down the 3 proportions. So A goes to P, B goes to Q. So AB is 6, AC is 8, PR is 12, and PQ is I'm going to find it, so I'm going to call it x. So the proportions is 6 over x equals 8 over 12. They're proportional. And cross multiply. So I have x with this one, so I could go 6 times 12 equals x times 8, or I could go multiply this one first because the x is here. I can go 8 times x equals 6 times 12. You only have one x, so it's better to go with this one, but either or doesn't make any difference. 8x is 72 divided by 8, and the 8's cancel, and I get x is 9. So x is PQ, so PQ is 9. PQ is equal to 9 because that's what I had x be. Give yourself a mark. Find this, number 5, find the scale factor on triangle ABC to form triangle XYV. Notice A goes with X, B goes with Y, so they're matched up. So what do I do with 12 to get 6? So 12 times a half gives me 6. So the scale factor is 1/2. So I call it scale factor is 1/2. 1/2 of these sides give me 1/2 of 12 is 6, 1/2 of 20 is 10, 1/2 of 18 is 9. So the scale factor is 1/2. Give yourself a mark if you have a half. Number 6. We have two triangles. We have angle S goes with P, angle R goes with H. The triangles are similar, so R, S, T. R goes with H. And S is the right angle, goes with P. And what's left over, I got HP, so that must be an F. So if you have triangle HPF, give yourself a mark. Add up the total, and what do you have out of 7? Hopefully 7 out of 7. Everything is going okay. Here we go. Now we have another diagram in which triangle DEF is similar to what one? Well, D goes with T because of the dots. And notice that we have this angle right here, which is equal to this one because of vertically opposite angles. So that means F goes with F. So that means E got to go with G. So notice I did the equal angles and picked up the other one after. So if you have T, G, F, give yourself a mark. Number 8, we want to find what X is. And looks like we have angle A going with P, angle C going with V. That means B goes with T. Well, what I'm going to do, instead of again writing down the proportions, which I can, I'm going to draw this triangle. Take this triangle and draw it down here. And as the proportion, so A got one stroke, A goes with P. C got 2 strokes, so 2 strokes is the V. And what's left over is the T. Now I fill in these missing sides. So TP is X plus 4, and PV is 4, so PV is 4. And we can't do it. We can't find X. It should have been PT. Should have been 4 if I want, because I have AB going with PT, and I have CB going with VT. So I needed a 4 to go here. So as it is, I can't work it out. This is impossible to do. Now, if I had that 4 right here, then because I have VT, which is 4 instead of here, this would have worked out. So as it was, I could not find what X is. But let's put the 4 on VT. Now I have X plus 6 over X plus 4, and I have 5 going with 4 as proportions. Again, as I had it, it could not work, impossible. So if you had this on a test and impossible, you said impossible, you would have got your 2 marks. But because I want this to keep working, then I needed to match up the sides, so 4 had to go with VT. And if it did, let's continue. Again, as the way I did it just then, we couldn't work it, so you say impossible, you get 4 marks. So continue. And 4x minus 5x equals 20 minus 24. Negative x is negative 4, so x is equal to 4. And if you put a 4 in here, you get a 10. Put a 4 in here, you get an 8. And so 10 over 8 is the same as 5 over 4. Again, it could not be done the way I initially wrote it. But let's put the 4 here, and the problem works out to be okay. So if you did, and you did this right here, you got 1 mark. If you got the answer, you got 1 mark, so 2 marks altogether. But we couldn't do it. You could not do it. So you got 2 marks because I'm fooled up on the question. Sorry about that. Sometimes when you're checking things out, you're sometimes not careful enough. And I wasn't careful enough. Now let's do number 9. Find, we got the triangle, parallel lines, you got some sides. Find TR. So do we have similar triangles? Well, let's draw this triangle, which is HQP. And then let's draw this big one, which is, notice, let's see, I have this triangle, so P is here, and P is right here. P is in the big one. Now, because these are parallel lines, this angle right here is equal to this one. So H is equal to this one, which is the T. And this angle at Q, which is right here, is equal to this angle at R. Because these are parallel lines, these are corresponding angles equals on the same side. Now I have the correct matchup. So I have TR is 3x minus 2, and HQ is a 12, and I have PQ is 9. So PR is the total length coming through here, so 9 plus 3 is 12. So proportion is that I can go the big one to the small. I can go 12 over 3x minus 2 equals 9 over 12, or I can go 3x minus 2 over 12 equals 12 over 9. So either or. But the reason I put the 3x minus 2 first, because there's only one x there, so when I multiply it'll be in perfect position. Like the x will be on the left. So 9 times 3x minus 2 equals 12 times 12. 27x minus, and we multiply 12 by 9 by 12 is 9 by, what did I get the 12 at? Say again, that's a 2. Again, thinking ahead of time, that's 18, 144. So 27x equals 144 plus 18. 27x is 162. Divide by 27. They cancel to get 1. And that gives me 6. And I want what TR is. So TR is 3x minus 2. So x is 6. So 18 minus 2 is 16. So TR is 16. So give yourself 1 mark for this, and give yourself another mark for the 6, and give you another mark for the 16, 3 altogether. 6 for that page total. except for me. If you have, say, this could not be done, you would have got 2 marks yourself, but I changed the question. Let's continue. And we have a pole, 6.4 meters high, casts a shadow of 1.6 long. At the same time, a tree 4.8 meters high casts a shadow. Find the length of the tree's shadow. So here's the pole casting a shadow. So there's the pole. And at the same time, a tree is casting a shadow. At the same time. So the shadow is on the ground, so the pole is 6.4 high, casting a shadow of 1.6. Remember, the shadow is along the ground. Shadow is not coming down here. And I have a tree 4.8 tall, casting what length of a shadow? So the 6.4 pole goes with the height of the tree, and the shadow of the pole goes with the shadow of the tree. So 6.4x equals 4.8 times 1.6. That gives me, use a calculator, 7.68, and divide by 6.4. X is 1.2 meters. So the length of the shadow of the tree is 1.2. So you get 2 marks. You get 1 for this, and you get 1 for the answer. 2 altogether. Number 11, we have a proof. Let's see. We have a triangle. It says that ET is parallel to BC, and we have a proportion. If we read across the top, we have what? AET. A goes with A, E goes with B, E goes with B, T goes with C. So I have an AET. AET is this triangle going with A, B, C. Oh, so this is coming out of a pair of similar triangles. So to get similar triangles, I need a pair of angles equal. So let's write ET parallel to BC, and that's the given. Now I can go with angle 1 equals angle 2, angle 3 equals angle 4, angle 1 equals angle 2, angle 3 equals angle 4, and that's PLT, parallel line theorem, and these are corresponding angles equal. I could have also said, instead of 2 of these, I could have just picked one pair and said angle A equals angle A. Angle A is in both triangles. So I could have said A is equal to A common angle if I wanted to. But I need 2 angles. So the triangles are similar. What triangle? Well, it's AET. Going with ABC. And that's AA similarity. And I have the triangle similar by 2 pairs of angles equal in each triangle. And now I get the proportion. AE over AB equals ET over BC. And that's the property of similar triangles. And if you have a given, you can give 1 mark. You can give them 1 mark for this step, 1 mark for this step, and 1 mark for this step. 4 marks altogether. 6 on the page total it up. And we have a 2 more pages because there's only 5. So we have number 12, find x and y. I have 3 proportions equal, and let's see, if I put these 2, if I cover this one up, and look at these 2, I have an x and a y. I can't work this out because I have a double variable. And if I cover this one up, then I have, same thing, I have a double variable x and y with an x. Can't work it out. But if I take these two, x over 4 and x plus 2 over 8. If I take the first and the last and write them down, I have only x. So if I solve this by cross multiplying, if I solve this, I'll get 8x equals 4x plus 8. 8x minus 4x equals 8. 4x equals 8 divided by 4. And 4's cancel. I get x is equal to 2. So I have 2. So this proportion is 1 mark. And this answer is another mark. So I have 2 marks already. So how do I get y? Well, to get y, I have to sub the x back in and see what happens. So I'm going to put the x back right here. And I'm going to put the x right here. Remember, I worked out the bx is 2. So if I put 2 into place of x, put 2 into place of x, now I have a proportion which is only a y here, so I can solve this one. So I can leave it like that. I could reduce this to a half, or I can leave it like that. Remember, you can only reduce top to bottom. You can't reduce sideways. So you can't reduce the 2 and the 6, no. Because you're cross multiplying, you're reducing into each other. You can reduce top to bottom, up and down here or here. But let's leave it like that. So the y is here, so I'm going to go 4 times 2 plus y equals 2 times 6. I could have did 2 times 6 equals 4 times 2 plus y, but because the y is all alone, I'm going to multiply this one first and this one second. So 8 plus 4y equals 12. 4y is 12 minus 8. 4y is 4. Divide by 4, and y becomes 1. And so I got a mark for this and a mark for this. So I got 4 marks altogether. And number 13, we have a bonus question. Solve for x as a radical in simplest form. So you probably didn't see one like this, but I have a proportion, so I'm going to cross multiply. So root 7 times x equals 4 plus root 2 times 4 minus root 2. Sometimes with math, you have to go with your instincts, and because you have a proportion that looks like this, we have to cross multiply and let the math flow. So I have a proportion, I'm cross multiplying. So root 7x can't be simplified. Now I got a FOIL on this. First, outside, inside, last. And negative times a positive is a negative. Positive times a negative is negative. Root 2 times root 2 is root 4, which is a 2. And we get root 7x equals, simplify that, they cancel out, and I get a 14. That means I divide both sides by root 7. They cancel, I get an x. And I have a monomial on the denominator, so to rationalize it, I multiply the bottom by root 7 and the top by root 7. Top gives me 14 root 7. Root 7 times root 7 is root 49, which is a 7. And the 7 will go into 14 2 times. You cannot divide the 7 into root 7 because that's an irrational number, that's a rational. So x. So if you have multiplied this far, there's 4 marks. So what you can do is somewhere, if you multiplied this one, give yourself a mark. You multiply this one, and you got the fars right here, and then you got the final answer. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 4 marks. Judge yourself accordingly how far you went. And that page totals up 8. And we got 2 more to do, and they're pertaining to, well, let's see. We have EI parallel to GH. We have IJ parallel to HK. IJ parallel to HK. And we have to prove in this diagram this proportion DE, DJ. DE, DJ, no. DE, DJ is not a triangle. EGJK is not a triangle. So how are we going to get the two of these equal? So DE, notice DE over EG. DE over EG. There's a split here. That looks like the PPTT. And we got a DJ over JK. DJ over JK. So we got one right here and one here. That's in two different triangles. But this segment is overlapping. So it looks like if I can get this one equal to this, and this one is equal to this, then I can say they're equal to each other. So this is the in-between. So EI parallel to GH, that's a given. So that makes, in this triangle, that makes DE over EG equals to DI over IH. So that's in triangle DGH, and it's a PPTT. So in this triangle right here, I have this side parallel to this one, so that splits these two sides proportionally. And now I'll do the other pair of parallel lines. IJ is parallel to HK, and that's also a given. Number 3 given. So because this is parallel to this in this triangle here, it splits these two proportionally. So DI over IH equals DJ over JK. And that's in triangle DHK. So we take the triangle DHK with these parallel lines, it splits these sides proportionally, and that's the PPTT. That's in that triangle with these parallel lines. So notice in number 2 and number 4, DI and IH is here. So DI is right here. DI is right here. They're there. So number 5, they're in both of these. So that means that DE over EG is equal to DJ over JK, and let's extend this down. Number 5 is substitution. It's a substitution where in 2 and 4. So substitution in 2 and 4, or we could say transitive property. Again, transitive property or substitution. And most teachers would say that DI and IH are in both of these, so therefore these two are equal by transitive, or you can get away with substitution. Check with your teacher. Number 15, we have to find the value of x. We have a triangle with parallel sides, so we can go with the PPTT. So what happens? We got 5x minus 4 over 9 equals 3x plus 2 over 12. That's parallel proportion triangle theorem. A line through two sides of a triangle parallel to the third side splits the sides or divides the sides proportionally. So 12 times 5x minus 4, 9 times 3x plus 2, and that gives us 60x minus 40. 4 times 12 is 48. 3 9s are 27 plus 18. 60x minus 27x, 18 plus 48. So we get 33x equals 66 divided by 33, and x is equal to 2. That's the value of x. And if you did this proportion, PPTT1, if you did this line here, multiply these out, and got as far as here, either one of these two, you get another mark, and you get to the final answer. So 3 marks altogether. Judge yourself accordingly. And again, in this proof, it's 3 marks. If you got this one, you got a mark. You got this one, you got a mark. You got transitive or substitute property, you got a mark. So 3 marks, 6 altogether. So hopefully, when you add all these up, you got it all done. Tally it up, and you take the first page, and you take the total on each of the bottom of the pages, add them up, put it over 33, divide that number by 33, you get a decimal, move your decimal 2 places to the right to get the percent, and you have your percent on your review section. Hopefully you did well, and if you did okay, if you didn't, go back and look over some of my videos again to see where you went wrong. Check it out because they're in order. If you like my video on the review, click your like button, subscribe button, and notification bell because there's more videos coming. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content that's going to be on my YouTube channel, Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.